we can no longer deny what is clear. Our time on Earth is ending.
All right, so Chris, the other week we took a little trek out to a fancy science center in Oakland.
They had giant telescopes.
And they had giant telescopes and like Einstein's telescopes, and they also had, for some reason, they had like all these computers in a room with Civilization Beyond Earth.
It was awesome.
I don't know what that was all about.
Best science trip ever.
Yeah, we played like what 100. They gave us 100 turns.
Start from the beginning, colonize a planet, plunk your butt down on there, and see how much this game is like other Civs. Which it kind of is, but it kind of isn't also.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. There's the immediate space drama, which of course always sucks me in. It's like, boom, your pod sort of lands, and suddenly you're there. And now we're kind of like where it's sort of like Civ 5, right? You've got hexes, and you've got to start creating units from your core city, right? Yep. And then you start sending them out, and in this case, you send out explorers.
Yeah, there's an explorer unit, which is like a little dude with like a moon rover, and they're kind of like scouts. You know, they can move further, they're weak in combat. But exploring on an alien planet is a lot different than exploring like whatever Earth analog you were on in Civ, because I think one of the main reasons is because, I mean, it looks different. We played the fungal biome. It's got like big purple landscapes and mushroom forests and stuff. But the aliens, man. The aliens.
Yeah, that's sort of a wrench in the works, right? Because you go out there and I'm setting them around, and suddenly, so some tiles have like this foggy, like poisony looking stuff, and that's miasma. And then you've got other places where you've got, sometimes you've got little mounds of aliens going in and out. They're not going to do anything bad to you.
Oh, that's because they're like a resource,
totally,
right?
They're
one of this sort of identifiable, you know, like you work this hex, you'll be getting +2 production because it's got chitin on it or something.
But then you've got mean things.
Yeah.
And one of the first mean things I ran into was like a trio of space flies. I'm going to call them space flies. I don't know what they're really called. So if you go out and you have to deal with the space flies, you know, you can bombard them with your city and just toss missiles at them from the city. No big whoop, right? But if you've got units out there, you got to be really careful because they're going to be really, really tough.
Yeah.
And there are a few things involved with that.
This is like their home turf, right? So you've got space flies, you've got the Starship Trooper sort of insect warriors, you've got these giant like manticores that are flinging acid at you. They're like a ranged unit. If you think about them like barbarians, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble because A, there's more of them, and B, they're like more tenacious about defending their territory, but they're also not always aggressive. Like just because they're buzzing around outside your city doesn't mean they're gonna actively mess with you. They're just kind of checking you out. There's actually like AI aggression levels for the aliens, and depending on like if you go on a rampage and you're killing tons of aliens, great for your military XP, but like then tougher aliens are gonna be interested in your city, and they can get really tough. There's like a giant dune siege worm that can straight up kill a city.
But then it's not just the damage the aliens do to your stuff and your city and your troops, but also the damage it can do to your relationships with other civilizations, because you start attacking aliens enough, and the other civs are going to be unhappy about that. And one of the reasons is because if you piss off the aliens are pissed off at everyone. You've got them riled up.
Within the context of human history, previous Civ games, you kind of have an idea of how it's going to go. You start off in your small villages, and you got your spearmen, but then you expand, you got your pikemen, then you can take to the seas, right? It's a course of human history. Civ Beyond Earth is obviously a whole new kind of history, and so the challenge is like, all right, what are my reference points? Like, how do I frame this? And one of the ways they do that is obviously your tech research, your virtues choices, all that stuff, but also quests, which you start getting right from the beginning. And they're really, you know, they're not, some of them are sort of go explore and find this thing that they sort of teach you that like, you can explore and find good things. But others are just like thought experiments almost. It'll just be a paragraph and it'll be like, hey, you guys have some old Earth relics, right? You brought with you. Some people want to treat them like holy relics and have them sealed away and never actually seen by the human eye and honored and sacred. Other people want to like put them out in a museum for people to check out and learn from. What do you think we should do? The choice is only A or B. You know, A gives you a bonus to food, B gives you a bonus to science or whatever, but it's making you think about like what it's like to start this new kind of world, this new society, outside post-human society. I think it's a neat touch.
A new beginning for mankind.